Now, Dean Mighell is Secretary of the Electrical Trades Union. He appears on this program regularly in the left and right segment. At times, he's a bit of a magnet for problems, I think. He had a big fight with Kevin Rudd before the election, effectively was forced to resign from the Labor Party, and now the front of the Herald Sun is really saying he's been junketing around the world at the expense of his members. That's what it's saying. $80,000 spent on a trip to the United Kingdom for 8 people, 8 union people. And it gets grubby too. It says a transsexual escort service was called from his room when he was in London, although there is no suggestion Dean called it or that the service was used. It looks like a bit of a prank. The serious point of this is the name, in the name of the members, with members' funds. This money has been spent. $27,000 on accommodation, $10,000 on meals and drinks, and business class airfares as well. Dean Mighell, good morning.
G'day, Neil.
Who paid for it?
The Protect Industry Severance Fund was paid for out of the surpluses, certainly not the members' accounts of that fund. And importantly, Neil, I think one of the things that isn't reported in the Herald Sun, there's a lot not reported in it, but one of the key things was that it was a very high-level delegation. We had the industry employer body come with us. We had industry employers from the electrical and from the plumbing industry come along with commercial lawyers to try and help us interpret the UK law for their schemes, that we might be able to implement them here in Australia.
What was the scheme you were looking at?
The scheme was predominantly in the UK, workers and unions over there negotiate their agreements on a national level. In Australia, under Howard's laws or Rudd's laws, we're forced to enterprise bargain. The UK can't understand it. They say it doesn't make sense. Let's do a deal in industry, and everyone picks it up. That was important for us to understand that from both employers and unions' perspective. And the other thing, I was always ambitious to introduce a portable annual leave scheme. It's the last of the employee entitlements for most of them is not locked up in a trust fund. When companies fold, they lose that money, but in the UK they don't. And I was very ambitious to try and get that here.
Okay, well, $80,000. Why take 8 people?
Well, I suppose that the employers would take their people. Well, half of them were employers and the other half union, and of course there was three union people. And
sorry, of this 8 though.
Yeah.
What was the makeup of the 8?
There was 3 employer, 3 union, and there was a financial systems person and a commercial lawyer went.
So it wasn't all union people?
No, the Herald Sun, as per usual, hasn't quite got it right, but nothing unusual about that.
It's embarrassing though, isn't it? Tough times, $80,000. I mean, you flew business class. Is that wise?
That's right, yep.
Is that wise?
Oh, well, look, that's the way that the fund booked the tickets. Our international, if we fly internationally, they fly as business class. We fly locally, we fly, economy. That's fine. I do most of the time. That's not a drama. But, I don't think our members are going to begrudge us that on a 24-hour flight to London for work-related purposes.
Was it hard work or was it a junket?
It was great at times. We did a lot of work. We met with a lot of industry employer groups. I mean, the portable annual leave scheme and the way they run it there, I mean, we're the first union to do that in this country, but I've always tried to pioneer new things for electrical workers, and I think we're out in front for good reason. If we could have got the portable annual leave scheme up, it'd be great. But their tax laws for employers, superannuation and pension schemes make it very, very difficult. Big advantages in the UK, not here, but something we'd love to lobby the government on.
Couldn't be done on the phone? Couldn't be done by email? Couldn't be done by teleconferencing?
No, the key thing for us was actually, the most important thing was meeting with employers and the Employer Association, how they administer it and trying to understand how the tax system runs. But of course we looked at their whole industrial relations scheme, training, apprenticeships and all that sort of stuff. And I guess when you go over there, hopefully you will learn good and bad lessons, and I think it was very valuable.
So where did you report?
Reported back to our state council, to our shop stewards, to our union executive. So, the trip was absolutely transparent and board tabled, papers tabled, all accounts tabled. I mean, these things come back and people use them on you because we're open and transparent about what we do.
Who approved the trip?
The union's executive, who is our board of management, who ticks off on everything, and also the board of Protect, which financed it.
But you're chairman of Protect?
I am, yes.
So did you approve your own trip?
Yes, we did. Yeah, all of us did. The employers both and ourselves saw great benefit in the both of us doing this together and trying to improve the industry and also grow the fund of Protect. If we could add the annual leave scheme, it would be a big advantage to our industry, we think.
And who was ringing transsexual escort services from your room?
Oh, Neil, I get caught by a bit of bad karma. I think I've done probably worse pranks to blokes on footy trips over the years. So, it's one of those things where some of the UK boys, we had a bit of a big night, ended up back in my room and they give me a hard time. They raided my minibar, smashed it and got a few movies going, gave me a hard time, but I can assure you, I think anyone who knows me knows that that's not something that
got a few movies. You're talking about porno movies?
Yeah, they gave me a real hard time, but that's all right, They did it in good fun, I just wish they hadn't.
Yeah, but nobody actually used the escort service?
Oh, no, absolutely. would say the boys definitely wouldn't have used it. No one ever came there. I think it was just a bit of a lark.
Okay, why is this coming out? Why is it here? Who's leaking it?
It's interesting. We've got, since we sorry, Neil, supported Les 20 at the last state election, we were told by the ALP there would be paybacks. We're going to take you out. $500,000 spent on getting rid of you as the leader of the ETU at your next elections, which are some years away. And we said, bring it on. I mean, one of the things, Neil, we've done that's probably given me a hard time is the fact that I will support political candidates in the best interest of our members, and they might not always be the ALP. And at Koroit, our union felt that the ALP candidate wasn't as good as the independent. So we reserve that right to support people we see as being the best political candidates to represent the aims and interests of our members. And I think every union should do that. Totally beholden to the ALP.
But you're saying this is a Labor Party candidate?
Oh, look, there's a lot of elements within the ALP. There is no doubt about that, in my mind, who will carry out their threats and will run a dirt machine having a crack at me. You know, I mean, look, I've offended Rudd, I've offended his people, I've backed candidates against the ALP in Victoria. I mean, not everyone in the ALP will do it, and the ALP machine, I'm sure, certainly wouldn't be in it. But I put a call through to Steve Noonan, the State Secretary, and I said, where are we going, mate? You know, if this is the dirt machine of the ALP at work and it doesn't stop, then you've got to understand our union's going to get terribly shirty about that, and we're going to, we'll have a whack back.
ETU war with the ALP.
Oh, you try to avoid it, but it's very hard. These stories come out, just fed to the Herald Sun by people with a political agenda. It's not a lot of fun to go through.
Would the federal government be behind this?
I don't think any government, state or federal, would be behind it, but, I know the ALP machine. I know what it's capable of. I mean, they've written letters. This same group of people in their campaign that's gone against us and will continue running things out, write letters to my wife about me having an affair regularly, to her work, that level of intimidation, attacking your family. These people will stop at nothing to get rid of me. They see me as a threat. They see us, our support for independent candidates, threatening 4 Melbourne seats at the next state election. I tell you what, they're doing a good job of convincing us why we ought to do it.
So you're saying there's an ALP dirt machine trying to destroy you?
There are elements within the ALP, and whether it's an official party thing, I would doubt. I have a great relationship with people within Labor. It's terrific ministers in the government and all that sort of stuff. I don't mind John Brumby, but factional interests and, I think federally there are people who would love to see me silenced. Not a lot of people in the union movement, Neil, speaking out for workers' rights when Rudd's not giving them back. So I make myself a bit of a target. I bring these things on myself. I won't apologise for anything I've done on this trip at all. It was in our members' interest to do so, and we'd do it again tomorrow if I thought it could benefit them.
Do you believe you have the members' support on this?
Oh, I think they do. I think if our members know the facts, not what they'd read in the Herald Sun, they'd be fine. If they understood what we're trying to do, then I think that the troops would expect me, Neil, to try and go and improve their lot in life, to get a portable annual leave scheme up.
If there is an ALP dirt campaign against you, is this the end of it or the beginning?
Oh, I think they'll keep going. I mean, they want to force me out of office. The ALP said we'll take over the ETU at the next election. Our members will make a decision about that. I think our members, most might vote Labor, but I don't think they want to see the ALP interfering in the union. That's what we're seeing here.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Neil.
Dean Mighell, Secretary Electrical Trades Union, 96900 693 or 13 13 32.